Live from the heart of the Quad Cities, you're watching our Quad Cities News at 5:30 on Local 4.
Hey there, thanks for joining us for our Quad Cities News on your Sunday evening. We hope you enjoyed the John Deere Classic here on Local 4. And that was the 55th edition of the Classic here in the QCA, formerly known as the Quad Cities Open. Let's take you back live to TPC Deere Run for our forecast first and much more from the JDC. Here's our Chief Meteorologist, Andy McCray. What do we got out there?
Hami, the weather just kept getting better this year. It was pretty hot Thursday, Friday, not so bad Saturday, and I think the best weather for this year's John Deere Classic today for the final round. It's been in the lower 80s for most of the day, but we know it can be a lot hotter than that. The Thursday, Friday highs were in the lower 90s, so some improvement today, and the skies, they held up too. A lot of sunshine. You can see that on the satellite and radar right here. We're looking at clear skies. Overall, it's going to be a really nice Sunday evening. Temperatures around the Quad Cities, well, right now we're in the lower 80s for most of the area, so we're good to go there. And our forecast first does include pretty good weather for us this evening. There's just a slim chance for a stray shower around parts of the area, but for the most part, we are good to go and looking pretty good here for the next couple of days. I'll have a lot more about that in just a little bit. Today, though, as we all know, all about the John Deere Classic. And for a whole lot more about that, let me hand this over to my good friend, Jay Kidwell. Jay, what a day.
Unbelievable, Andy McCray, and as you said, this is probably the best weather day we've had all week. Fantastic out here. Nice work on that. What a day here at TPC Deere Run as the 2026 edition of the John Deere Classic is history. Chris Gotterup got the job done. He started the day 5 shots back, but he posted a 9 under 62, finished at 20 under par as he picks up the victory at the JDC. One of the special moments about this is he was a sponsor exemption 5 years ago here at the tournament. He's the defending champ at the Scottish Open coming up next week. He was asked, whether he'd just skip this and go to the Scottish Open. He said, no, out of the loyalty this place showed him, he wanted to come here, and he won. Joining me now, Matt Randazzo from Off the Air. He gets that done every single weekday at 10 a.m. He's terrific. Matt, you've been out here for decades, but just your first take on Chris Gotterup and that sponsor exemption story and the loyalty that this tournament brings to the golfers.
I would say, Jay, this might be the best winner we've had since a Jordan Spieth back in 2015. Somebody who's won 3 times on tour already, his 5th career victory. And it's funny, Claire Peterson mentioned earlier this week that the best in the world rise to the top towards the end, and that's exactly what happened. Those last 4 holes, the best golfers figure out a way in those last 4 holes, and that's exactly what Chris Gotterup did. His brother was on his bag. I just got done asking him, I said, hey, is it a 50-50 split? He said, absolutely not, but he'll find something special for his brother. So a big, big victory for Chris Gotterup, and a guy that's becoming well-known on tour. He's just 26 years old, and he's going to do big things.
Well, we both have been out here for over 20-plus years covering this tournament. Special time, though, to be out here. Special sporting event in the Quad Cities when the PGA Tour rolls into town.
It's amazing what they do and what they continue to do, Jay. You look around, and that hillside's packed. Obviously, the way they've blended concerts with the course, along with a first-class tournament here with the John Deere Classic, and people were all around the course. I know you were out and about, and this place was packed for 4 straight days, 5 straight days when you look at the Pro-Am, and today is a special day to see it all get done. And we mentioned the golf, we know that. The concert on the course is great as well, but there's Birdies for Charity as well, and $16.9 million last year. They're going to probably beat that again this year. The economic impact on the Quad Cities is super cool as well.
Boys, come on over for a second. Charlie and Chase, fun time out here with the kids. We got about 20 seconds left, but fun to have the guys out here?
Absolutely. My previous life, I didn't get to do as much family stuff on the weekends as well. So to hang out with these 2 guys and watch a little golf and show them what they're supposed to do, not what their dad does out in the golf course, is a good thing.
Who's the best golfer in the family?
My dad.
Yes!
All right, well done.
Yes!
All right, Team Randazzo, great to see you guys. We have got
Real quick, take this for my weather time later. This is one of my favorite things of the week. It's Matt Randazzo's first picture. He looks like he's about your guys' age when he got that picture taken.
2001. Another former sports director just got done yelling at me at that point and said, go get your picture taken. But it's stood the test of time, hasn't it?
Andy, what do you think? Any gray hairs on that one?
No. He's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
No hair now. I need the gray. I'll take anything than that.
You guys are awesome. Great stuff. Great to have you on board. We've got a lot more to do from TPC Deere Run in a bit. Hami, we'll kick it back to you.
Thanks, guys. And that gray will always look good, no matter how much you embrace it. Thanks, guys. We'll check back with you later. Well, if you didn't get a chance to catch the John Deere Classic in person, you probably saw it at home or out at a bar. And as our Quad Cities' Joel Keller reports, he took us behind the scenes on how the production crew kept it all going all weekend.
2, 1, we're up.
Basically, it's organized chaos.
This is an inside look at the control room for the CBS and Golf Channel production of the John Deere Classic. And it does seem like chaos.
18, Michael Brennan. Number 18, making the turn.
If you sat back there and watched, you'd be like, how do these guys have any idea what they're doing?
While golf is being played, there's non-stop action on the course and in the control room in their trailer. Jim Rickoff is the one in control.
At football, it seems a lot faster at home, and golf seems slower. But in the truck, golf's probably much faster.
He says they have to be proactive, not reactive to how the play turns out live. That way, they set themselves up for success during the drama of sports.
It's like having 18 little venues, so that's always the challenge. When you go to commercial, players keep on playing. So it's like being an air traffic controller.
From Silvis, Illinois, it's live.
You can't control the weather, and that's the one thing you really need. A good weather, and you just want a good leaderboard.
But what makes a good leaderboard other than a close race?
A couple big names there, or some young kid looking for his first win. You want a hook that you can kind of make that your storyline.
And the John Deere Classic typically delivers.
Their first wins, little young guys playing in their first tournaments, which is a kind of the fabric of this. It's to kind of make it a one-off that's interesting. I think it makes John Deere special.
In Silvis, Joel Keller, our Quad Cities News.
Don't worry, we'll get you back out there. Andy's back with his full forecast live as we wrap up, put a bow on this John Deere Classic. That's coming up next on your local Sunday evening news.
Now, your local pinpoint forecast.
Good Sunday late afternoon, and what a Sunday here in the Quad Cities. July 5th, yesterday a great holiday for a lot of people, and today the final round of the John Deere Classic. Jay has a bunch of highlights queued up, ready to go. You're going to see those here shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a weather update, and let me tell you where we are. This is one of the putting greens where the pros have been practicing here. We're right next to the tee for hole number 1 as you kick things off here at TPC Deere Run. Just about 100 yards away, hundreds or a few thousand people more than likely ready for some music. Carrie Underwood was great last night from what I hear. Tonight, more country music, Old Dominion. Ever since they started doing the concerts on the course, I think that was a great move here. The crowds are noticeably bigger, and a lot of people haven't even left yet, even though the golf tournament wrapped up about an hour ago. So this will be pretty exciting for country music fans, specifically for Old Dominion fans. They're going to get going here in just a little bit. Right now, I can hear some music playing. It's not the band, but I imagine they're getting all hooked up, doing a little bit of sound check and getting ready to go for another concert on the course here at TPC Deere Run. High temperature Thursday was 92. It was 90 Friday. We've been in the middle 80s this weekend, so the weather improving day by day. And today, didn't have any rain, not much around the golf course. We had a few stray showers I was watching on the pinpoint Doppler radar earlier, but they did stay away, so I know lots of people very happy about that. All right, let's jump over to the weather graphics now. We are going to start off with your local pinpoint Doppler radar. And I mentioned just a few showers around parts of the area. They were very small showers, nothing too bad. One of them's down by Aledo right now. And what I was doing at work earlier today, really just focusing right on the golf course. Notice you can zoom all the way down. You can see some of the holes there. And we have been good to go here for golf. There's even been a little bit of a breeze when I had golf on the television on the local 4. That's where everybody was watching the tournament, as is generally the case on the CBS coverage. Well, it was pretty awesome. They mentioned a bit of a wind out of the north. That wind was a shift compared to the last couple of days, as it did get just a little bit cooler today thanks to that wind. All right, River Bandits had a fantastic fireworks show last night. The city of Bettendorf put on a great show too. And now, well, we'll still get to see Red, White, and Boom sometime later in the year. All right, here are the weather headlines. Could be a couple showers. Again, one of them's by Aledo right now, but most of us are good to go here at the end of our holiday weekend. Temperatures right now pretty comfortable, especially compared to 48 and 72 hours ago when it was up around 90. Today, noticeably cooler, and it'll feel a little better later tonight as well. Here's satellite and radar, and every once in a while you see just a little dot of precip on the map. Some of that right by Aledo right now, nothing significant. No real bad weather for us today. All right, here's our Futurecast computer model, and I think you're going to love the weather over the next few days. Highs in the 80s. Humidity, well, at least it won't be way off the top of the chart like it was over the last 48 hours. There'll be a touch of it. It is July after all, but overall we're looking pretty good Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So if the long holiday weekend continues, or if you're just on summer break, maybe you're a teacher, you've got the whole week off, that would be great because we have pretty good weather on the way for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All right, here's your local pinpoint forecast tonight. Most of us are dry. We're going to clear things out later. 65 for the low. That's pretty close to average for a summertime low. And tomorrow, 85 with a lot of sunshine. That's pretty close to normal for a summertime high. Here's your local pinpoint forecast for the next 7 days. Like I mentioned, great weather here next few days, and we'll have some highs up around 87. Remember, average right now is 86, so all of these days here very close to normal. Next good chance for showers and storms, that'll be Thursday coming up later in the week. But again, great weather for the final round of the John Deere Classic, and we had some pretty exciting golf here today. Like always, magic happens here, Jay. Well, I know for the winner, that had to be pretty sweet when he was watching things unfold there at the end of the day.
That was absolutely terrific. Nice job doing the weather without singing Jimmy Buffett, because we had people singing Jimmy Buffett rolling on by. All right, we're going to talk all about the JDC. What a day for Chris Gotterup. The highlights are coming up next on our Quad Cities News at 5:30.
Now, local sports on our Quad Cities News.
Another terrific John Deere Classic has concluded for 2026. A spectacular Sunday afternoon. And the drama, well, we had it all the way to the bitter end, all the way to the very end. Chris Gotterup, though, he finished some hour ahead of time, but he is the man who came out on top. Let's take a look at the action from TPC Deere Run on a spectacular Sunday. And we will begin with Chris Gotterup at 14 as he drains the birdie putt, and that would get him to 19 under. Now it's 17. Gotterup reading the green, and he is going to get a birdie at the par 5. It's at 20 under overall. He shot a 9 under 62 on the day. Ben Coles, he in the mix, absolutely in the mix at 14, gets the birdie, and that would get him to 20 under overall. Thinking possible playoff. Coles on 15. The par putt is off to the right, and then that drops him a shot to 19 under. So he's back one. He responds on 16. Coles rolls in the birdie putt, and he and Gotterup tied at 20 under. He did not birdie 17th, which was key. That's the par 5 you want to make hay on. At the 18th, Ben Coles' second shot, awful break for him, bounces off the green into the water, so he is in trouble. So he's got one final chance to tie Gotterup up, but the putt is not going to fall, and that would do it. Gotterup wins. He's over at the driving range, and he finds out he just won the 2026 John Deere Classic. He had his brother Patrick caddying with him this weekend, so a special moment for those two. Apparently, Patrick needs an extra day off tomorrow as the family from New Jersey having a special time. He's a big-time Knicks fan, and obviously they won it all, and this man continues to play well. He won the Scottish Open a year ago. That's where they're heading off to for next week's golf action. But he's going to fly overseas, a very, very happy man. Looks like the concert's getting going. Let's get over to some baseball highlights. We will get going with the Cubs and the Cardinals. We can check that out. And here we go from Wrigley Field. 6th inning, Jordan Walker. This one heading out. It's a 3-run homer, and the Cardinals with a 3-2 lead. 6th inning, Dansby Swanson. Ground ball. Cardinals throw to second, but it gets away. Michael Busch scores. Cubs up 4-3. Same inning, Pedro Ramirez. This one's heading out. It's a sac fly into right. Jordan Walker throws it to third. Ball is dropped. Goes into the Cubs dugout. Dansby Swanson scores. 6-3 Cubs. And in the end, the Cubs get the job done as they would beat the Cardinals by a final of 6-4. Let's check the White Sox. They are in Cleveland. Big 4-game set between two AL Central rivals. Kyle Teel going the other way, 2-run homer, and the White Sox off to a fast start up 2-0. 2nd inning, Tristan Peters. This one to right field. Barely clears the fence. White Sox tie the game up at 3-3. 3rd inning, Colson Montgomery. This one's going to head out. It's a 2-run blast. The White Sox in front. and they get the job done as they win it by a final of 7-6. So the two teams split the 4-game series in Cleveland. River Bandits at Modern Woodman Park taking on Cedar Rapids in the series finale, top of the first. Shot to left field, Luke Pelzer, leaping catch to end the inning. Job well done by Luke Pelzer. Bottom of the first, it's Nolan Sailors, and he rips this one into right center field. Ends up at second with a leadoff double. The Bandits are in business. Then Ramon Ramirez, he is always in the highlights. This one past a diving third baseman. Nolan Sailor scores. Bandits at this point down 2-1. Still in the first, Ramon Ramirez takes off for third. The throw is late, goes into the outfield. Ramirez sprints on home. Tie game up at 2-2. And then Luke Pelzer, this one into right field. And that one is going to be, well, a double as he slides into second base. A run scores. Bandits with the victory by a final of 8-4. River Bandits with a nice Sunday at Modern Woodman Park. Back at TPC Deere Run, a spectacular week has come to a conclusion. Congratulations to Andrew Lehman and the crew for another job well done. The concert's rolling. We are working the press conference. We will have full coverage and huge interviews with the winner. That's all coming up later tonight. For now, I'm Jay Kidwell live at TPC Deere Run in Silvis. We will wrap up the news after this.
You're watching our Quad Cities News at 5:30 on Local 4.
Welcome back. Let's send it back out to TPC Deere Run one last time, just for good measure, as we put a bow on the 2026 coverage of the John Deere Classic. Here's Andy McCray.
And what a tournament it was, Hami. Some weather issues at the beginning. We had at least one little small rain delay. I remember that. Overall, though, not bad, especially for the weekend. I've got Hami in this ear, and I've got Old Dominion in this ear over here. The concert is started up. So once we wrap this up here in a couple of minutes, I'll go listen to a little bit of that music. Such a great addition that they've had here at the John Deere Classic just over the last few years. Hopefully, that'll keep going for a long time to come. All right, well, it's a nice summer week coming up in the Quad Cities. Remember, we had all those 90s last week. This week it's a bunch of 80s, middle and upper 80s, but that's close to normal, and I expect a lot of sunshine. Humidity, well, it's pretty rare in the summertime, especially once we get into July, that the humidity is low. So I'm not going to say it's low over the next few days, but it will be lower than it was over the last few days. So that's your 10-day forecast. The next good chance for a shower or a thunderstorm gets here Thursday of this week. So that's your 10-day forecast, and that's what we're looking at. All right, one more minute to go. We'll bring in Jay Kidwell again to talk about the 2026 John Deere Classic. What a rush over the last few days.
Yeah, absolutely. It was something else, and Chris Gotterup posted that 20 under. It was a matter of whether that would hold, and indeed it did. One of the special moments that you see, and you've seen it out here, is the golfers, how they take their time. Max Homa finished one shot back. He was out there for 15 minutes signing autographs, and how much that meant to the kids. And another tip of the hat, Coach Hatch and the Riverdale girls basketball team, they're over here. They come out here to volunteer and clean up the course, clean up the media center. Bravo to the Riverdale Rams for what they do. So many teams are out here throughout the week doing their thing. I'm going to forget to name them all, but great job by all those teams.
All right, great insight, Jay. Appreciate that. Appreciate you watching this evening as well. Have a nice Sunday evening, and we do hope to see you a little later tonight for our Quad Cities News at 10.